Hello, this is Tom and Chris. We're Those Film Guys, and welcome to the final part of our Batmarathon. We've gone through the ups and downs of the Batman franchise and have arrived at what many consider to be the greatest superhero film of all time, the godfather of the superhero genre, as well as one of the greatest films in general of all time, Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. And we begin with the tone. It vastly differs in tone from Batman Begins. It's not as I hate to say gothic, but it's really not as gothic as Batman Begins. But it has its own style, and I think that because this is set a few years after the events of Batman Begins, I think that it shows progression in the city as well. And I think this is the Batman film I was waiting for. This transcends beyond what it's classed as a superhero film, and goes beyond the limits of that and becomes something else entirely. A legend. And this is my definitive superhero film.
Okay, right. Now here's where I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, but out of Batman Begins and this one, I do prefer Batman Begins. I think the look of it and just the general feel of it, Batman Begins to me felt much more like a superhero film. Like, if you look at the city in The Dark Knight, it's very much just a regular city of Chicago where it was filmed. It doesn't look like Gotham, and obviously you don't have the drawing points like the Batcave or Wayne Manor or many of the same aspects that are usually associated with Batman. But to me, I think that was because The Dark Knight, more so than Batman Begins, feels like it's based more on real life situations. Like, you obviously have the angles of the war on terror, and I think that's why they chose to set it in a more realistic looking city than the one in Batman Begins. But it's still one of the best films ever made, and certainly up there in the best superhero films ever made, in that it actually tries to raise these moral questions that audience can link to modern times. But in terms of a Batman film, I still prefer Begins due to it being more of a character study of Batman.
Okay. See, I think the setting, you see progression there in terms of setting. As far as I'm concerned, that this is what Batman has achieved in his short. He's made it safer, but then again, he's, like Gordon said at the end of the first one, escalation. But then he's now facing an escalating. It may look good on the surface, but he's now facing more and more. He's facing a greater escalation in crime, or in organised crime, like the mob and things. And that's where you get the Joker, and then you get opposite sides of the triangle and the spectrum, and you have a nice, I find, a very nice triangle with both Batman and Gordon as the bottom, sort of as a pyramid on the bottom level, and at the top you have Harvey Dent as this character who's sort of the thing that they're trying to achieve, or what they want to be, the guy who doesn't care and just sort of does his job and gets rid of corrupt cops, but there's a great triangle there, and I think it absolutely works.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's because we haven't really seen that dynamic with those three characters before this point, and I think it really works for the message that the film conveys, and how this relationship for all of these characters, just with the interference of the Joker, just slowly breaks down, and by the end these people have become, three desperate characters. and completely changed in their outlook and have to question their, morality. And with Harvey Dent changing into Two-Face and questioning morality and going off chance, it all just, again, like Batman Begins, all the characters just work. And some may see Two-Face as a kind of throwaway villain in this film. The Joker could have carried the film on his own, but without Two-Face you wouldn't have had the moral dilemmas and the overall message that the film achieves greatly, in my opinion.
No, because I absolutely agree with that, because the Joker here is basically he is an anarchist. He wants to show everyone how stupid their society is, and he goes to extreme lengths like anarchists to show the world that. And he's like, well, there's that great thing where he burns his half of the money, and he says it is not about money, because that's his beliefs, and he tries to show that even though things may this White Knight in Harvey Dent may be the perfect symbol, he tries to show and succeeds in saying, well, people can have a change of mind. I'm there to show these lot, what life's really like, and he achieves that with Harvey, and that's why Dent is such a tragic character, and he's really played like that. The same. Not, I wouldn't say Batman. I mean, there are tragic elements to Batman, but I think we've seen them in Batman Begins, that we can see his character there already.
Yeah, to me in this film, with the exception of a few scenes, Batman to me seems to take more of a backseat in this film when you compare him to characters like the Joker and Harvey Dent. You have like the few character building scenes towards the end where he questions whether to be like what it is to be a superhero and the bad things that can happen when going down a lifestyle like that. But to me, the real focus is this devolution of character in Harvey Dent and having the Joker slowly break him down and break society down. And I think this was the biggest focus of the film, was to get this message across. And I mean, Batman, yes, he is involved in this with the moral struggles, but to me, in a film, the Batman and the Joker should be, parallel. You should neither favour one more than the other. But in this one, I really didn't like Batman in this film for some reason. I'm not sure whether that's a combination of the voice, which was a massive change when you rewatch Batman Begins. It was a lot more grisly, a lot more gravelly. And to me, the problem is with this film is that the Joker is so good that he steals the show. And to me, Batman and the Joker should always be on a level playing field.
I would agree with the voice, but I think I can look past sort of the voice because of the intricacy of the story, and I think the Joker really does want to see how Batman's going to react to all this, and I think it's very much, although he does do things to the people of Gotham, I think I believe he wants to see how Batman deals with this, and some of it's not good and some of it is questionable, and I think they are both paralleled in this. I think where the Joker is with the side of anarchy, he has no rules, he does what he wants and he achieves what he wants and he shows people what he thinks, whereas Batman's very sort of, he's controlled. He's much like Harvey, but he feels that his symbol, he feels Harvey is the ultimate symbol, but he is a symbol nonetheless, and he can't be corrupted or controlled. Though, and he has rules in which he doesn't kill, and things like that. And the Joker really wants to push that. It seems to me like he chose Harvey as the sort of catalyst for that, to show Batman how he can be corrupted and how he can change, and how and of course at the end he doesn't change. He sticks to his morals, he sticks to his code in not killing the Joker. And I think that is a great centerpiece. And of course you've got Gordon as well, who in terms of character, he's very much, I think he's similar to Harvey, but like in the first film, he has to work with what he has. He uses the corrupt police officers to his advantage, and he can't really change. He doesn't feel he can change that, whereas Harvey is kind of the opposite as well, where he thinks that we should not tolerate crime at all. And that I think is a great centerpiece.
That's one of the main reasons I really like this film, is that every character in this film has a moral grey area. There is no one-sided good character and there's no one-sided bad character like you kind of got in Batman Begins, apart from Ra's al Ghul. But in this, I mean, you have, as you said, Gordon is doing the best with what he has, and he's openly admitting to working with corrupt police officers and endorsing Batman's acts. Batman obviously is an anti-hero and is fighting with very extreme methods, and obviously raises the whole spectre of surveillance technology, and which comes into play towards the climax of the film. And is that right in a modern society? And the whole, is fighting terror with terror, is he becoming what he's trying to go out and fight? And the Joker, although is dubbed as the villain in this film, you could argue that he is just the same as Batman. I mean, that's the epitome of the characters of Batman and the Joker. They look completely different, but morally and emotionally they're exactly the same. And you could just see it that the Joker just one day saw the truth of the world and went out, put on a costume same as Batman, and just to spread his message.
Yeah, I like the fact that the Joker is mysterious. I don't know where he can. I mean, there are hints to his past, but those seem more like stories he made up.
There's a great line in The Killing Joke. I can't remember it exactly, but he says that he never likes to have one backstory. He likes to make up ones, and that was in the animated series as well. And I think that really works for the character, because it's when you don't know his backstory or what pushed him to this level, it's really very chilling. And like, what could have made this guy just snap and one day go out and want to blow up Gotham?
He just one day woke up and thought, you know what, this is all fucked.
He saw Batman and Robin and went on a rampage.
Yes, he did. He did. But I really do like that, and you could. I mean, it is a very, 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 very good and well shot film.